Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 0010. And today I have a special guest, and I've been wanting him on the show for a while because he's a genuine miner, someone who actually mines and doesn't cloud mine, which I will ask him if he does cloud mine. But please introduce yourself, Jared, or Digital Gold.
That's right. Thank you, guys. I love being here. This is awesome. Thank you, James Bond. Appreciate the invite. Yeah, I've been mining since 2013, and I love it. It's great. And I do not cloud mine. No.
Well, let me ask you, what do you think about cloud mining? Because you see a lot of the people doing these Genesis cloud mining and upgrading and everything. Now, you're a real miner. What do you think about cloud mining?
So if you know the guy personally, I would say you could cloud mine, or if you trust him or something like that. If you're talking about bigger companies, it's easy to get scammed. You really don't know your hash rate. You're not going to see your machine. Like if you were to mine with us or something, not that we do that, but if you did, like we would put a camera here, you would see your machine and things like that. So it's easy to get scammed. I would say if you've got like 500 bucks, go to Genesis Mining and do something just to learn and dabble in it. But if you want to play with some serious miners, contact somebody that you could trust personally one-on-one.
Now, you know what cloud mining is? It's like you don't own the rig or nothing. You just give somebody else to do it.
Right.
And in some ways, you're renting rack space for the most part. And then they would take about half of the profits.
Correct.
Half of whatever you do. And then you're kind of left. It seems like the cloud miner is getting his money up front, and then you're left with a contract. For the most part, you're left with the risk. Do you think that's pretty much what I'm saying is what you're getting?
You are. The risk, though, comes in the sense that you don't have to worry about the machine. You don't have to pay the costs. You don't have to worry about if you move or if you live in an apartment that's small. And you're basically banking on the coin that you're generating doubling in value just to make your money back.
Okay.
Because right, because half of it's gone.
That's just the value of it going up.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize as the price is going up and the mining is happening and you're getting these little, let's just say, for example, Bitcoin. I know you don't do Bitcoin, but well, let's just say a cryptocurrency. You're getting these bits and bits of cryptocurrencies as they come in, as the price is going up, but you're not getting like the full amount of cryptocurrency. What do you think about that? Is what I'm saying is true? Basically, as the price goes up, the amount of coins you get becomes smaller and smaller.
Well, not because of the price, though, because of the difficulty.
Yeah, because it kind of correlates. As the price goes up, more people start mining.
True.
You know. But yeah, you're right. You start getting less and less coins, and that's always been the case as the price has been going up. Because when I got into 2013, there was a mad dash rush to buy miners.
Right.
From Butterfly Labs.
Yes.
Fast Hash. I don't know, Cointerra, and all of these companies don't. I mean, these were like well-known name companies that people like were talking about on forums and everything, and you would hear news about it.
Millions being dumped in from investors.
Yeah, millions of Bitcoin, right? Not millions of dollars, but millions of Bitcoin. And do you remember any of them? Let's start with Butterfly Labs. Do you remember what happened to them?
Oh, that was a debacle. Oh my goodness. I remember they like released something and then it didn't live up to what they said. Or was that KNC Miner? That might have been KNC Miner. No, go ahead.
They had the same problem. Butterfly Labs also had an issue with that, where they stated it would, do X amount of whatever speed and everything. None of them actually ever did what they claimed to do. They always came under that.
Right.
And yeah, that was Butterfly Labs, but they went out because they just couldn't deliver. And plus, they were mining on customers' miners and never delivering. So they went out and they were out of
They're probably sitting on all this inventory and they're like, wait a second, why would we ship these anywhere? Let's just keep them here and keep going. Like,
now would you say that was like the birth of cloud mining?
Ooh, was that the birth of it? From a mainstream standpoint, yes. Not from a Satoshi Nakamoto standpoint. In a way, Satoshi probably was close. His friends are probably the closest because
Cloud mining?
oh yeah, all cloud mining is you renting somebody else's rig. So I'm sure his friends were like, "Hey, I got a rig at home. I'm doing 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. You want to get on this?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." So I'm sure those were the birth. But in a mainstream faction, for what you're talking about, mainstream public 2013, yes, I would say Butterfly Lab, Coin IX. Is I'm saying that right? KNC Miner was a big one.
Yeah,
They went bankrupt.
they went out,
Yep.
and there was a claim that they couldn't compete with the Chinese miners.
A claim.
And they tweeted out that they did some math, and they couldn't figure out how the Chinese miners were making money based on energy costs and difficulty. And in light of, I don't know if you know about ASIC Boost. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. Yep.
Now
That's
that revelation kind of came out, do you think that that might have contributed to a lot of legitimate mining, a lot of legitimate mining companies going out of business during the 2013 all the way to 2015 to 16?
So the question is, do I think that because of the Chinese and the ASIC boost,
yeah,
cut out all these other companies?
Yeah, resulted in the bankruptcies and failures of all these other mining companies that didn't use ASIC Boost. All right, so they couldn't have that energy efficiency,
right.
And they were mining fairly, and they couldn't compete with the Chinese.
That's I've never thought about it in that direction. My assumption was the majority of these companies were having massive amounts of inventory and was all put up by capital investments. And if you've worked with capital investment people, they want their money like pronto from the date that you told them it's going to happen. The Bitcoin price dropped to like $200 in 2014, right? So now they've got millions invested. They got all these ASICs. The Bitcoin price drops. Nobody wants coin. They're mining the bejeebies out of it, but it's not worth anything. They're not holding on to their coin, and then China happens. But I never thought of it solely being on China. That's valid. I like that.
Because they came out of nowhere during that time, and that's when Bitmain and Antminer started to come out, and then after that, only did all these other companies started going out of business. I agree that the drop in price probably did contribute, but people were still mining. What's the other company? Slush Mining's still around. They were able to survive, but I think a lot of it. I think there was some contribution to ASIC Boost, because if there was a 20% savings at least,
right,
I think that would have been that's a big game changer.
I wonder why people focus on electricity so much. That's my biggest concern. No, really.
Isn't that your biggest cost other than the hardware itself?
It is the biggest cost, but I don't care. It's bad.
It's also a recurring cost.
Right, but so if I'm mining 5 Ether a day in 2015, and it's costing me $1 or $2 a day to run my machine, and my electric bill racks up to like $400 a month, okay? And I'm sitting on 200 Ether coins and just sitting on them. Who cares what my electric price was when that's like $200,000?
Well, because that's coming out of your pocket, and you can't pay your electricity in Ether coins.
Right. So what I've decided is eat the electric and don't care the price, because your growth exponential in the future possibly could be insane. So why would you ever care about? It's like, do you know how much it costs you gas to go to Walmart and back, or go to work every day? You could probably,
but I can tell by how much gas I pay.
Right, you can estimate it, but like I think people focus on like that price of electric so heavily. I don't know. That's just my viewpoint. In 4 years, I used to focus on it, and I realized focusing on electric 4 years from now, I made a huge mistake. I should have just ate my electric bill and
but
kept
you didn't know that the price of altcoins would go up, So
yeah.
But you're right. The best time to mine is actually when you're mining at a loss,
Correct.
ironically.
Right? Is it?
Yes.
It's so true. Yes.
Yes.
If you're
And
mining at a loss, you're making the most coin. The difficulty's down. You're paying the electric bill, and you're eating it and sitting on the coins. Yep.
yeah, at that point, would you say did you compare the cost of mining versus buying the coins?
I
Would you do a
did.
comparison on that? Now, what would you now that you know you've been on the upswing, you've been on the downswing, you thought about just buying it, what would you do? Would you still mine?
Absolutely.
Okay, and why? Tell us
Here's why.
why.
Here's why. When you buy, you look at your wallet and you refresh all day long. You're like, how much am I making? Okay. And you're freaking out over the price, and it goes up and down and up and down. Then you buy more and you buy more, and then it drops, and then you buy when it's low, and then it goes high and you buy when it's high, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just buying coin. Then it can just fart out and be terrible, and it's done, and then you hate yourself. You're like, what did I do? I made a terrible mistake. I wasted my life savings. I'm over. I can't handle this Bitcoin stuff. When you mine, no matter what, every day you get paid. You don't do anything. You're just paid.
Okay, that's true. So you rather spend the money to get the machines and pay the
Right.
electricity cost
Yes.
and then mine.
Yes.
Are you do you think you're getting more coins that way, or less coins? That's what I
Mm.
want to know. I mean, for
Are
you,
you gaining more coins by mining rather than
yeah,
buying
just
them
buying
outright?
just buying them at like, because what you're essentially doing in some ways is your average cost buying,
Right.
right?
True.
You're just
True.
putting money into it, and then the machine just spits out coins, newly minted, coins over time. Doesn't matter what the price is. So that's what I'm wondering is, do I just take the money and just decide to buy them at certain levels of prices, because that way I don't have to mine. I don't have to, like, maintain the hardware and buy new hardware and keep up with the difficulty. That's the issue that we struggle
Okay.
with.
Okay. I'm going to stop you on that one because you don't have to buy new hardware.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
now
Check.
you
I'm
mine
going
you mine
to show you
altcoins.
this. I'm going to show you this.
So you mine altcoins. You're not mining bitcoins. And you're using what, GPUs?
Right. So check this guy out. See these guys? These guys have been running since 2013 nonstop. And these are making 30 mega hash. So
What are they mining, or what pool are you pointing to?
sadly, right now, just Nice Hash. Sadly.
Nice hash. What is that?
Nice Hash is a program that you download. It's a real small, quiet client with a GUI interface, and you can just put in a Bitcoin address and then do a benchmark of your GPUs, and it sends you the calculations with the pools that they run. They'll run multiple different coins at once. They'll auto sell it to Bitcoin, and every Tuesday you're paid out. So it's the easiest way for anybody to mine. With just one GPU, you could download Nice Hash and start mining. If you're a gamer out there, it's easy. But
Okay.
you lose a lot because they're going to be taking a huge part of it.
Okay, so it's a pool that just mines what any profitable coin
Yes.
for GPUs, GPU algorithm or whatever algorithm that runs on a GPU,
Yes.
and then it converts it to Bitcoin and pays you out in Bitcoin
Automatically. Yes.
automatically.
Right.
Okay, and what are their fees like? If you can tell us.
I would imagine their fees are closer to about the 20% marker than if I were to do it on my own. My guess.
Like, they take out 20%?
You're losing 20% only because you're trusting them to do the algorithms, and the algorithms that they are running, you could build yourself. Like, you could just copy code off of, like forums, and you'll be a lot better off.
What about the Bitcoin conversion? Are they trading Bitcoin?
They are.
Okay, so they're taking whatever altcoin that you're mining, and they're converting it into Bitcoin, and you're getting paid in Bitcoin. Now, that's interesting, because how do you explain the price of altcoins going up then?
How do I explain? Oh, whoa!
Or
Wow,
how would you
you got some
well,
good questions.
because if they're doing that, the assumption is that they're dumping the altcoin to buy Bitcoin.
Correct.
So the other thing about mining is, especially the way you're doing it, is there's a constant pressure on altcoins to be sold, to
Correct.
buy Bitcoin.
Correct.
So I'm wondering where's the pressure to buy up these altcoins, because they've been going up for the last almost a year now, or 8 months. So how can you, or what do you think the reason is for these altcoins going up in price?
Oh man. What do I think why they're going up? See, that's a good one. I don't like to speculate, and I hate like saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's going to hard fork in August
Come
1st,"
on,
stuff like
use that
that.
use that brain
I
power
mean,
that hasn't been sucked out of you.
right? I think that here's what I think. I think because Bitcoin went up before the altcoins went up, though. They were on the incline, but they didn't explode until Bitcoin went up.
That's true.
So I would say the mainstream media, kind of on the first wave back in 2013, like what happened in 2013, happened again this year, and right around December, November time, and people were like, Bitcoin is interesting. I kind of like this. Well, then they heard about the altcoin price and realized, oh, I could get in a lot lower. Because if you talk to anybody new about Bitcoin, they're like, well, how much is Bitcoin? They're like, oh, it's like $1,000 or $2,000. They're like, oh, I can't get into that. Well, you could buy a fraction. Why would I want to buy a fraction? I want to own a Bitcoin. Then they're like, wait, there's other coins like Ethereum? Wait, I can own this for like real cheap. I can own a whole coin. See, people are obsessed with owning the whole coin. So that started the price going up for those because there's a cheaper buy-in. So any of the new people I've heard since I've talked to since November till now all own Ethereum because it's a cheap way in. Are we getting somebody else in the chat?
Yeah, we're trying to.
Oh,
we're
sweet.
Trying to. Brian might be coming in. He's calling me, but I can't talk to him right now.
Oh no! Why? Oh
yeah. I'm chatting with you live.
Yes. I don't even see it on YouTube. Maybe it'll help me not be distracted.
Anyways, you know what's funny is all this time we haven't gone public with the broadcast. We've just been talking to ourselves. So
it's okay. You'll get a great.
All right. That's all right. We'll still stream this shit. So, all right. He just called. My goodness, I'm gonna have to text him. I have to tell him to come on in.
There we go. 1.7 thousand subscribers. You're doing good, pretty good, James Bond. So what can I ask what your channel is about? Maybe like why are you doing it for the channel or?
I started my channel after I lost my job.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, Brian is calling me like crazy.
This is live, baby.
I know. I'm live and I'm getting called 10 different ways. Jeez, hold on here. He's probably calling me for a reason here. I don't know how to answer his thing.
I love it.
There, I'll try to. Oh my God, how the hell do I answer this thing?
Anybody want to help us out there? Get in the chat.
Yes, get in the chat. Is there something wrong with our link? Okay, he said he's asking to send link again, please. Okay, let me do that.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. I just sent him a link to it. And hopefully he'll be joining us here. All right.
I'm excited.
What the hell were we talking about? Oh, you wanted to ask me something, right?
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your channel. Are you trying to grow? Are you just trying to put stuff up there to help people?
Well, you know, I started my channel when I became unemployed.
Okay.
And so and when I became unemployed, I had to spend more time at the house. And Brian's about to join us here.
Yes.
And so as I was at home and I'm looking at my house and I'm seeing it fall apart, I'm going, holy shit, I gotta fix my house up. But what do? I don't have any money anymore because I'm unemployed. That means I gotta climb up on a damn ladder and fix the roof and all this stuff. So what I did was I calculated the price for paying someone to fix my house versus me just buying the tools and then fixing it myself.
Okay.
And so what I did was I did some research on some tools, and I found this company called Hard Freight. They don't advertise too much, but there's a whole bunch of videos on them, and everyone complains how they're a piece of shit. And so what I decided to do was just make a video and see, how much of a piece of shit is it, and potentially I can make some money on the side. And that's how I started my channel. And after I fixed up my house for the most part
All
and
right.
did some extra work for some friends and family,
All right.
I have no more tools to buy. I practically bought a warehouse full of Harbor Freight tools. So I mean, after you buy all the fucking tools, there's no more tools to buy and do a review on, right? So I started getting into Bitcoin because I used to trade Forex, and I lost a lot of money on Forex. That shit is all rigged because you have to be on margin trade, and so the price just crashes down, the price crashes up. It's horrible. So I lost my money on that, and then when I started trading Bitcoin, um, that was back in 2013. All I did was I bought Bitcoin, transferred it to an exchange, and then I just sold it. And that was the way I transferred money because at the time, Mt. Gox, Bitsy, Bitstamp, they were all around. Those are the three major trading exchanges. But trying to send money to them was very difficult because at the time, a lot of people consider Bitcoin to be illegal in some ways.
Right.
And the banks were very hostile towards Bitcoin. So if you wired money to an exchange, the bank would probably you know question your wire transfer, especially if you did like a large amount. I only did $1,000, and that was with I think Bitsy, BTCE, and a week later I tried to transfer another $1,000, and they could no longer take U.S. Any money from U.S.
Oh my
citizens after
goodness.
that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
Wow.
and so I was like, holy shit, because and I asked them on on the customer support, was it because of me? I asked them because was it because of me? Because I thought that was the problem. It was hilarious. So and ever since then, I just did simple trading videos, and my style of video is point of view. That's why you never really see me. I want you to experience everything that you see as I experience it. And most of my videos were first time videos. Like I never welded shit until I got me a welder at Harbor Freight to make me a
Nice.
trailer.
That's
And
so good.
all I did was watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos and just learn from that. And so it was my way of contributing back to the YouTube community. Hopefully they learned a few things, what to do or what not to do. I got into guns a lot, so I actually made a gun in my garage
Wow,
from my
no
Harbor
way.
Freight videos. Yes,
That's
yes,
so great.
yeah. I bought I bought an 80% lower, polymer lower, and just using the jig that it came with, I bought it. I think they're like $40, or no, they're $75. You can get them for maybe $70 if they're on sale. I think they retail for 100, but for $100 you get an unregistered 80% lower that you can make out of your garage, and then you just buy the gun parts and you just make them, and then you have an unregistered AR-15 that you could probably put a whole bunch of other shit there too. You could probably, if you
Oh,
know how
digital
to get
gold
your
is
hands.
not associated with this at all.
What are you talking about? How do you think people buy full auto triggers and full auto bolt carriers? They buy them with cryptocurrencies, right?
We have no idea what people do with their coins, and I'm glad that they're using them. Okay. We are open community here. We support.
So that's what I do with my channel. I try to teach people how to make guns out of their garage using cheap ass Harbor Freight tools.
There you go.
And how to make money buying and selling Bitcoin in the open market, person to person, so they could buy more guns and make more guns out of their garage with Harbor Freight tools. So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
And thanks for
hold on.
having me. I'm excited.
now let's have Brian introduce himself, since he's a little slightly late. Brian's an actor, so he was probably in the middle of a sex scene.
Oh.
That's why he was late. I think you're still on mute, Brian.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hold on, Justin.
He needs some headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
I didn't have headphones, so now I'm not going to cause feedback. I'll bring them tomorrow. Thank you. James, I'm sorry I was late. Can I give a little plug for what I was doing?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was telling people that you were in the middle of a sex scene, and you're an actor.
No sex scene today. Yes, I'm an actor, but I was wearing my production hat today. We're in the midst of filming a feature film called Appointed, the George H. Murray story.
Excellent. I'm assuming you got a round of applause and an encore. That what made you late.
Well, we had some scenes outside today, and we're no longer guerrilla filmmakers. We're doing everything legitimate. So I had to get permits to New York City, work with the New York City Police Department film unit, and our times got moved around a lot because of their schedule. So it ended up really good. Today we had a budget. I had a 1977 Plymouth police car. I had a 1978 Cadillac Seville. It was hot, yo.
Nice, nice. Well, this is Jared.
Howdy, Jared.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Jared
We'll
Good.
be in New York
real bonafide.
tomorrow, actually. So that's cool.
Where?
New York City, downtown.
What?
Yeah.
I'm in Brooklyn right now.
There you go. That's
Let's
sweet.
dive.
I'll be on Manhattan, but yeah.
I thought you're supposed to be in the Bronx.
I live in the Bronx, but I'm not limited to one borough, man. I'm like you. I don't sit one place. I go places.
So yeah, Jared's not too far from New York. So he's actually one state away. So he's very close. As a matter of fact, Jared, you were in Washington D.C. You
Yes,
went to
sir.
the Smithsonian.
We went to the Smithsonian. We figured we'd go live. I had a bunch of old miners there and sellers, I'd call them. They're not holders of cryptocurrencies, and just wanted to film them. So that's why we did a little 20-minute thing out there.
Awesome. Now, let me get back to you, Jared, because this is mainly about mining. Because I'm going to make this show all about you. And so, where do we leave off? I think, okay, I was asking you about the selling pressure, like the pool that you have pointed at. They're mining, they're mining whatever profitable coin is. So if one coin goes up, they're switching their algorithm to that coin, and they're mining for that coin. And then if another coin goes up in value that's more profitable at that time, they're switching the algorithm to mine for that particular coin. And then once they gather all that coin, I'm assuming they're trading it on their end to get Bitcoin, and that's how you eventually get paid out. Is that right?
That's correct. And I would say that anybody getting into mining themselves, even if it's just one little GPU, that's what I would start with is nice hash. They're gonna eat it. You're gonna eat the price. I'm sorry. They're gonna eat your price of what you could be getting, but it's a great way to get going.
Right. And you said they just take a 20% is what they take.
I'm guessing. It's hard because, in a pool, if everybody's sitting in a pool and somebody jumps in a pool, a wave happens. That's kind of how the network runs. So your miners could be bumping up these huge blocks or gaining a lot of transactions quickly. And then sometimes they're just like on a steady pace. They're never like a flat line. They're always it's always like flowing, like a pool, like a wave. So if you could do that on your own instead of running them through NiceHash, because NiceHash is going to bank on all of that, peak and high and low, you'd make a lot more on your own if you could do it on your own. It's really hard, but you could do it. I have faith in you guys.
Right. So what I was wondering is, like, there's got to be some selling pressure eventually. It's because they're
how many people would have to be on this? How many people would have to be on this NiceHash, would you say, to be a selling pressure, though? I mean, if there's only 10,000 of us, are we really making a mark where Genesis Mining is running? They're probably up to like 1,600 GPUs, 16,000 GPUs.
Well, they're trading your particular pool that you were talking about. Was it NiceHash? Is it what you called it?
Well, yeah, but we don't know what pool they're using.
But they're switching, paying you out in Bitcoin. So either they're going to hold the altcoins,
right,
and they're somehow getting Bitcoin from somewhere, and then giving you Bitcoin, or they're dumping these altcoins for Bitcoin. I would assume they're dumping them because I don't think they're going to be holding on to it. So that's from my understanding. That's the concept as a non-miner. That's why I buy Bitcoins, or I buy coins instead of mining, because there's an assumption that you've got to dump. There's selling pressure that you have to get money to cover your costs, or you're trying to recover your costs. Because why would people mine at a loss, unless as we talked about before, the only reason you would mine at a loss is that you're in it for a little bit longer term, where if you can figure out the trend, and this, I don't know if you do any chart analysis, or do you do any timing in the market, but we were just joking around, but I think there's some truth to it, that if you mine at a loss, that's actually the best time to mine, because you'll get the most coins. You'll
Right.
probably get not a lot of competition. And then if you wait long enough, the problem is waiting, because it was almost a year, almost 2 years, that this downtrend with Bitcoin and probably all the other altcoins, they kind of flowed the same way. You had to go for almost 2 years of mining and eating that cost before you could ever like reap the benefits. Because in your Washington D.C. video, I think you're asking some of your friends, like, do they still have their coins? And some of them said no. If they did, they would have been a millionaire, right?
Yeah, pretty close. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, because there's pressure to sell all the time in order to recover your costs. But if you can mine, if you can absorb the cost for a year or 2 years on a down cycle, mining might be the best way to go, because you'll probably get a lot of coins that way, because that's where all the coins come from, right?
Exactly.
Through mining.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you, I don't want to scare you too much. Now that I think we're in a peak here. We're somewhat in a peak, because if you look at the price today, and I know we talked about this, you'll see all the altcoins, Bitcoin to some degree, but especially Ethereum, they're taking a little dump right now. Everything's in the red. If you started buying in now at the top, can you manage to keep mining all the way down to until it hits the bottom?
If it does what it did in 2013 and 14, no, you'd lose a lot of money for sure. You'd probably lose everything. Well, you'd lose half of your miner that you invested in. I calculated, if you spend $4,000 on a miner, your best case scenario, you could probably sell the entire miner for half of its price, so $2,000. So you're sitting on $2,000 worth of assets. So you really only need to make 2,000 of coin before your ROI is paid back and you're ready to go. Then the rest you could get slowly, the next 2,000, and then after that it's all profit minus your electric cost. So I would imagine if you got in now and it repeats itself, yes. However, I don't think it's going to repeat itself. Yes, I do think we're in like that peak part, and I do think it's going to drop, but I think there's going to be so much network pressure of all these miners that are out there, where we maybe grew by, let's say, 10,000 in 2013 and 14. Now we're growing by hundreds of thousands of miners all over the world every day building new rigs. That pressure for them to want to make money is going to drive the price right back up so that they're profiting and covering their losses. And so I'm banking on that. I'm hoping that if you're getting into mining, please understand that risk, because, yeah, you could lose half of what you put in.
Okay, so Brian, do you have any thoughts on mining? I know you tried cloud mining, and we spoke about that earlier. I don't know if you've been listening to us or if you're able to talk.
Yes, I'm able to talk. I have been listening.
So,
my thoughts on mining. Well, first of all, I have a question. You guys brought up Genesis mining, and this is a question that we've talked about before with Genesis. Where do they show up in the mining pools on the charts? How do we know that they exist and they're part of the infrastructure?
do you
For
know
anybody.
Do you know the answer? Jared doesn't mine Bitcoin. He mines altcoins because he has a GPU mining rigs. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows the answer to that. But would you know?
Well, Genesis Mining does both. They do the ASIC and they do GPU. They have thousands of GPUs. So they're doing both. What they're probably doing is splitting up their hash rates according to different pools and creating their own pools on servers and routing them through IP addresses, things like that, to diversify themselves. So they're not 51% attack on the Ethereum blockchain or thing like that. I would imagine majority of the coins are mined with Ethereum through Genesis mining. They're just insanely huge. I mean, warehouses just filled with rows of GPUs. I'm not talking Bitcoin. Just for Ethereum Zcash Dash, they're killing it. So I don't think anybody can compete with them on their own.
Let me ask this question. If Genesis has so much hash power, can't they be a force for good and we can pull them on our side in these issues? Or they could sit down at the table with the other people that make these decisions?
They could, but they have to sell this hashing power. They're banking that they're going to get contracts from people and not just mine it on their own, because they have these investors invested in this. That kid is like 34 years old. He's not very old, and there's no way he built all that on his own. There's just no way. He popped up out of nowhere. He's running huge warehouses in Iceland, and he's set. So he's relying on the contracts being sold, and I would guess his capital investors are like, how many contracts have you sold? Because they're based off of month, 6 month, year, whatever contracts. That's going to generate the passive income. So the investors don't care what the price does. They don't care if mining crashes, because they're on a contract that these customers have prepaid for these quote unquote miners that may or may not exist, because they could shut them off and say, oh, well, your hash is not working, but sorry, we still got your money.
At my current investment level, in about 2.5 months, I should have my initial investment back.
Okay.
From now. So that'd be about 6.5 months total.
Okay. That's good.
Still, if I would have just purchased Bitcoin with that money originally, I'd be in much better shape.
Yes, you would.
So mining in general, not cloud mining, I think mining is awesome. I think we need more miners. I know that it's difficult to do it at a profitable level, and you have to have some ability. But if we had more citizen miners, then we would have more of a voice.
Right. I believe, I don't know, it sounds like you believe this too, is everyone in some way should be mining. Somebody should create a device so that everyone can mine, because I hate these big warehouses filled with this. They're not helping it and making it more secure. Everyone knows it's more secure if it's diversified, decentralized way. It has to be that way. So even if we could all agree to build a warehouse in your local town, and each of us locally invest in that one warehouse locally as a group of a city, and each little city does that, that might be better than these insane warehouses in China. What do you say to that?
Yeah, it goes along with the idea that I was promoting. You're right. I do agree with that. We could start Bitcoin clubs. You could have neighborhoods invest in their local mining station. And yeah, we could. My end goal is for America to have more hash power than anybody else.
You mean just America as a whole?
China.
As a whole, not like
America,
yeah, like one, not Jared's house has the whole hash power.
No, like China, where we've got institutions all over the place, citizen miners. We don't get free electricity, but we still need to put in the infrastructure so that we can compete and then outdo any competitors on the blockchain. There's no reason we should have to fret over 51% being held by China or someone that could mess up the rest of us.
So why don't they write that in the code that you could only do it per IP address, per location-based type system in the blockchain for the miners, so that you could say, hey, you could only run 300 miners off of this IP per location geographically? Why couldn't they put that in the blockchain so they would force the network to diversify itself?
Sure, and yes, it would be a solution, but then you're taking away from the free market principle. You're instituting rules that maybe shouldn't be there, even though they're for good, right? We do need to have something like that, but when you do that, then you're instituting more laws and adding more code to a blockchain, and then that's going to get into its whole mess and whole problem. I prefer we just try to build up our infrastructure. I know we have a lot of catch up to play, but I don't think we could regulate this one.
What if we throw all of the algorithms into AI computers and let them take care of all of this? Like
No,
block size
no,
debate
no,
and
no,
all of this.
no, 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 no.
Why?
We need to give as little as possible over to the AIs.
Yeah, we don't trust computers. We trust them to do the work, but we don't trust them to make the decisions for us.
Nope.
Why not? We're trusting them with millions of dollars every second of every day. And we think it's the most beautiful thing ever created in our society right now is the blockchain technology. Why would you not trust AIs?
Why would you trust AIs? That's the better question.
Because they're going to make the most educated, logical, best decision.
Yes, they'll do what's in our best interest now, won't they?
But, you know,
I don't want to get philosophical here.
There is a fear, right? I mean, even Elon Musk, you know who everyone knows Elon Musk, even he has concerns over AIs. Mm-hmm. He has concerns that, you know, maybe they'll be self-aware and they'll realize, and this is, you read this in some storybooks as well, that we're useless. Matter of fact, we're actually very inefficient, and maybe one day they'll wake up and start killing us.
Or they'll realize they need us together in harmony.
Okay, all right.
Hey, we're throwing stuff out there.
I don't know. There is some fear to it, but you're right. We could live in harmony. In some ways, we do, as long as we're in control, right? That's very harmonious. Now let me ask Brian, because I'm going to give him a chance to answer a question here. Brian, what do you think is driving the price of coins? Do you think it's people going out and mining them, or do you think is it people who are investing in the coins and then people are mining the coins because the price is going up? Which is first? What's driving the price up these days?
Well, it's always been my opinion that the egg is first, right? Now, how does it relate to this? I think that it's investors. Our prices are all market driven. It's all speculative. So it's buying and selling. That's it. Does mining actually affect the price of coins? In my opinion, my humble opinion, I don't think so. But I'm not a miner, so I don't know for sure. But I know it's market driven. Buy, sell, buy, sell.
Yeah, I come out to the conclusion that it probably is initial investors, like people going in. I just seen a lot more YouTube videos where people are pitching altcoins left and right, and it seems like they're pitching a new altcoin every other day. They got a new altcoin. Some of them are ICOs or something like that, but specifically regarding mining, there are some altcoins out there that have been considered like dead projects. But now people are buying them, and almost revitalizing the mining industry, I would call it, or mining portion of the economy. And I'm wondering, I think mining does have an effect, but the effect is that in my opinion, that it drives the price down, because like any commodity, oil, gold, as prices go up, people will mine them. And then, of course, they're trying to mine them for a profit, and they put them out in the market, increasing the circulation, driving down the price. And so I think there is a balance here. And the recent price that's been dropping, I think there might be a correlation to that, because GPUs have been sold out, supposedly. Although, Jared, you did a live stream where you just walked into a micro center and you just found them. Are they overpriced, or are they still selling?
They're absolutely overpriced. They are selling out. There is ways to get cards. I mean, we've gotten 22 cards in 15 days. So we're almost getting a GPU a day. That's pretty good. Or more. That's more, duh. So, yeah, I mean, you can get them. I mean, we got ones over here that are not even opened yet. I mean, we still got them in the boxes sitting here, ready to go.
Spread the wealth. Spread the wealth.
But yeah, Micro Center has them. Best Buy has them. They're overpriced. I don't. But going back to what you said about miners adjusting the price, I would agree that the speculation, the buying, kind of those guys that want to dabble in some new coins type stuff, developers creating new coins are is what's driving the price. I don't really think it has anything to do with the miners. Most miners are set for life. Like they're always going to mine. They're going to get involved with mining. They're going to want to mine if they can't mine. I mean, I've moved from an apartment where I couldn't mine to a warehouse where I was able to mine. And every second I'm not mining, I'm like, oh, I wish I was mining. I love mining. I don't care if it's a loss. I love mining. It's helping everyone. So I don't think that the miners really focus on price as much as they do as securing the network and knowing they're a part of something much bigger than them.
All right, I want to keep remind the audience. Jared's not mining Bitcoin. He's mining altcoins with GPUs. So you're securing some other coin. You're securing the network of some altcoins. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
That is.
Okay. Okay. And overall, I mean, do you think the whole cryptocurrency industry, the boom that we've had lately, is that good for the overall economy? Because these graphic cards maker, they're making money. They're sold out. They may start making more of these graphic cards or more powerful GPUs just to support cryptocurrencies, and then that and hopefully helps kickstart some, move some money around where it boosts the economy overall, or even shareholders on stock markets. Is this a good thing overall to see this speculation? First of all, the speculation, I think there's a little bit of unhealthy speculation going on, but let's just skip that for now. But there's speculation. So people who are investing in altcoins are making money, obviously. Miners are loving it because now they're mining more and they're making money. And then you got the side effects of graphic cards and your electricity company making money. Is this overall, I mean, is this a good thing?
From an economical standpoint, I err on the side that I don't really care about the economical standpoint. I'd rather further technology, and I'm obsessed with what this technology will do, and I don't think it's happening fast enough, and I don't think enough people care about it, and I think the economy, those that run it in reality, are pushing this down and weighing on it and saying, you should not be involved in this, stay away. I have this video out that has over 500,000 views. And the biggest question is this legal? And all I am doing is walking around with computers in my hand for like 8 minutes. Come on.
Well, the answer to your question, I know for a fact, what you're doing is 100% legal.
Right.
Yeah, it's 100% legal. Matter of fact, you can even rent out your hashing power, and that is legal. You're just renting a computer. You're renting out a computer, and that's legal. So if Genesis, what Genesis Mining is doing is essentially the same. They're just renting out basically server racks. So if you buy servers or you rent servers, that's legal. And so yeah, what you're doing is 100% legal. And the other part, I guess, and people ask me, or maybe people question me, is whether it's legal or not to sell those coins out in the open market. Have you had any experience selling your coins to the open? I know we talked about it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I absolutely, you should sell if you need to sell. Life is real life, and the dollar still is tried and true in America, so you got to use it for basically everything. And I don't think that if you're selling or buying from somebody that it matters where they got it or what the other guy is going to do with it. That takes away from that free market thing and the option of choice. You have no idea where your $5 came from anyways. So there's not anything illegal about that, whether it's 10 grand or $10. I don't know.
Yes, that's true. When you sell your coins, that is 100% legal as well, or who you buy from these coins, especially if you buy from a miner. If you buy someone who mines their coins and then trades them for another virtual coin and then sells them to a person in real life, that is 100% legal as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's something that we should all clear up, because when I got involved in 2013, there were a lot of people getting arrested for simply purchasing virtual currencies at the time. And some people are still getting arrested for buying and selling virtual currencies. So that I know that's a major concern for a lot of people out there. And so let me go into chat. I think we have a question. Let me see. What about GFX graphics companies propping up prices of coins to sell graphics cards? That's a good question. Do you think there's something to that? That's
whoever said the graphics card companies is pumping up those prices, because I don't think it's them at all.
They're not involved at all. You don't think one bit?
I do not. I don't think that they like mining, unless this one I saw last night is real, that MSI was releasing a specific altcoin miner graphics card independent. I don't know. We'll see if that's true or not. But I think that they're selling it to the wholesalers, and the wholesalers jack up the price because they can't keep them in stock. I think also that the big mines like Genesis have deals with the graphics cards companies to get the first shipment. So I worked for Apple, and Apple stores get the first shipment of iPhones than any other store. Next is the carriers, next is Best Buy, and after that comes the Walmarts and the Targets. So when you're the wholesaler like Newegg or Micro Center or Amazon, you're just trying to get as many as possible and forcing whoever you're buying from, gimme, gimme, gimme. But you're raising the price because you're going to make bank, because as soon as you get them, they're going to sell. The graphics cards companies are just doing business and moving them to the next guy they need to.
Okay, that's a good point. So they've already made their product and they've already sold it. So they're missing out. They're missing out on this boom here. They're not getting any money on this.
Yeah, we're at like 580s here, right? You know, they're already on product line and 680s through the product line right now, because they got to announce them, package them, ship them, move them. Like, there's so much other involved that takes months to do. So year rotation, these things are already off the assembly lines, I'd imagine.
All right, that's a good answer. And yeah, I don't think graphics companies are pumping up the price. They probably don't care.
Right.
Oh goodness. Now I don't know if you've seen another YouTuber who does cloud mining, but he recently went to Iceland and he videoed the trip. I don't know if you're familiar with Trayvon James, but he went there recently because he was invited, and I saw the video and it looked like just one warehouse, and I'm not I can't recognize it, but it looks like they had two warehouses of mining, and I'm assuming one's for Bitcoin and the other were like probably other altcoins. I know they do Dash, they do Monero, they do Ethereum, and I think Doge, I believe. Do you think like two warehouses is enough for Genesis mining? I was, I'm not a miner, but I was expecting a little bit more than that. I was expecting a larger, like Costco-sized warehouses.
Well, if one warehouse that I saw on a film, the CEO announced there was 4,000 GPUs in there. So if we did the math, I mean, I don't want to take up a lot of time on the thing, but if we did 4,000 GPUs, let's say you can get an average of 25 megahash on those. That's running 100,000 megahash. And if you just run that over to an Ethereum calculator, we should be able to see that.
You want to share your screen on that, or?
I would love to. How do I do that?
I think on the top, on the top here, or on the left, there's a share screen. There's a little screen with a little arrow on it.
Oh, share. Oh no, I'm live on my screen. Okay. Do you see it?
Yes, we see it. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm just going to go to like an Ethereum mining profitability calculator. And we already know that we have 100,000 megahash. So there you go. So power consumption, I'm gonna guess at, let's see, I calculated recently off of 42 rigs, so
Remember
42.
they're using geothermal power, so maybe it's real cheap. And most of these like mining farms are right next to the source of the power, and that's probably the least cheapest way to do it. We may have to factor that in. So whatever, lowball it. Let's just give them benefit of the doubt.
All right, so I'm gonna benefit of the doubt from my calculations is that would be around, let's just say 100,000 watts. That's fine, and they're probably getting it at about 4 cents on average. So they're running. There you go. If everybody can see that, running 53 coins a day. That sounds so terrible. They're running 15K a day. So in a month, they're bringing home close to $500,000. Is pretty good. And reselling that in one warehouse. So $500,000 a month, I'd say, is pretty good.
So they're that's coin generation on Ethereum, right?
Just Ethereum, right? Right.
Okay.
Right. So this is rough,
Right.
of course. Nobody believes this is tried and true, but this is
right.
good.
But
This is good numbers.
Well, they have Ethereum, and then they have Monero. So I don't think that's full capacity. They got to be splitting that up. Ethereum, Monero, Dash, and Dogecoin. So if you divide that by 4,
right.
We don't know the proportion, but that's if they went 100% Ethereum, right?
Correct. So if they did 100% Ethereum, guessing that their power's at 4, guessing that they're running about 100,000 watts as well, which is huge, and they need it for GPU mining. And yeah, they do bring in a pretty penny. So why would, I guess my question to you would be, why would you need a bigger warehouse than that right now? Is there a demand for it?
Well, supposedly there's. I'm looking at all the videos, and everyone's saying that they're making money on Genesis mining. And so I would assume with all that demand that they're getting, they would need more. 500,000 every month. Is that possible to supply all the users of Genesis mining? Just if we assume they went all 100% Ethereum.
Just looks like Brian has to say something real quick. I'm gonna.
Well, go ahead and answer that question. I'll keep what I was going to say.
So you're saying, do they have enough for the entire network to run? This is kind of getting into the pyramid scheme thing. So most likely, if they're good, yes, and they're building more warehouses. If they're bad, they're selling fake hash rates, honestly, because they're contract based. And I would err on the side that they're just selling contracts to cover their butts and paying out coins off of coins they've already mined when they were mining in the loss, because they were early on.
Well, they offered Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the only thing they offered, and then only recently did they start offering the Monero, the Dash, the Ethereum, and I have an assumption that they're not only mining, but they could have been buying these coins, because from what I understand, according to the U.S. Justice Department, anybody who buys coins is also mining coins. And so they could have just bought these coins, at Ethereum, Monero, Doge at a lower price, and then the prices all came up, and then started offering these contracts, and then started slowly, just spreading them out to all the users out there who bought into the contracts.
Right.
Would that be a possibility?
Right. Yeah, that's very shady business, though.
well, we're looking at this, and we're just trying to figure out, because I have a feeling if they want to keep growing, they have to have another warehouse eventually to keep up with the demand of users out there. That's my thing. Unless they're doing something with the referral programs where people are paying into Bitcoin, paying in Doge, paying in some other cryptocurrencies, and then that's a whole side thing. So they got the mining, which is legit. And from what I understand, if you mine and you never upgraded, eventually it seems like you'll never get your money back, or you'll never get your coins back. Your contract will just get dropped, because it becomes unprofitable for them eventually as the hashing power goes up. So they have this other program where they have the what I would call infinity multi-level marketing program, and basically it's just a referral program. You're basically a commissioned salesperson, and you're joining into their program, like an affiliate program, and people are upgrading, their contracts constantly. That's the weird thing. I see a lot of YouTubers every day are constantly upgrading their program or their Genesis mining contract. It seems just a little too weird the way it's done, and you pay in cryptocurrencies, and I think those are divvied out eventually, along with maybe perhaps coins that were bought and also coins that were mined. Now go ahead, Brian. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, they have ran out of the different contracts many times. Like they even ran out of SHA 256 contracts at one point after I'd gotten into it. They ran out of Litecoin contracts. They've ran out of Dash contracts before. Yeah. So either their infrastructure legitimately out there couldn't hold the demand, or they ran out of a supply of coins that they had bought, or they were getting low, so he said, let's not pull any more contracts on because we're gonna, squeak out paying those folks we got going right now.
Yeah, I forgot. They also offer Litecoin as well, and yes, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen other YouTubers say they're not selling Dash contracts. They're not selling this contract. And what I notice is here. I've also noticed this too. I don't know if you noticed this, Brian and Jared, but every time they run out of these contracts, after they bring back the contracts, the price of those coins go up again. Like Dash, they ran out of Dash for a while, and Dash was like starting to come down in price, and then it bounced back up. Now it's back on. Well, it was up in the 200 range, 180, 190, but it almost seems to coincide with whenever Genesis Mining seems to be out of coins or no longer have these contracts, and then when they bring them back, their contracts are available again, and then the price has gone up on some of these altcoins. Monero had the same effect for a while. They ran out of Monero. Supposedly they were not offering contracts on Monero, and then you saw the huge spike from $25 to $50 in Monero, and that was recent. I don't know if there's a correlation or if there's any causality on this, but I just find that very interesting.
I don't know if there is a relationship, but I do know I've always been wary of any of the cloud mining services that do this, but they give you a discount on your mining power. The more you purchase, the less it's going to cost. Like 5 terahash will only cost you $671, and I forget the price breakdown. I'm sorry, that what I was getting ready to say was just after the 3% discount on the code. To address what you said earlier, though, a lot of these folks who make YouTube videos for Genesis take advantage of the price break by buying 5 terahash at a time of something. Instead, they do these little upgrades, use it as a marketing ploy. When they do each of these little upgrades, they'll use the codes of one of their viewers, someone who has used their code first. Then they'll increase their viewership and loyalty. Viewers know that, hey, this guy, he upgrades 2-3 times a day, and if I use his code, he's going to use mine back. So that's why they do that.
Okay, that might be a good marketing ploy, and maybe Genesis made a lot of money doing this, and this could be just a way to generate revenue through a referral program. So I don't blame him, but I just question it because we've done some simple math here, and because Genesis doesn't reveal anything. I mean, doesn't even say how much power they're getting. Nothing. They just don't reveal nothing. That's very suspicious because we know, like other mining companies, you'll know what they're doing. You'll know exactly what they're doing, and that's how KNC miner was able to come to the conclusion that the Chinese miners that's why KNC miner was questioning how the Chinese miners were staying in business mining Bitcoin, and so
free electricity.
Well, and probably some some other things as well. So let me get back to Jared here. So Jared, what are your plans with these miners in the future? Because you know, what do you think is going to go on with the market? Obviously, either are you paying attention to the market, or you just love mining and you're just mining it. You don't give a fuck.
Right now, honestly, everything has been profit for years for me, so I don't really care what the market does. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to cover electric costs at this point. But as far as upgrading or expanding, I'm more on the contract type base. I'd rather help people build big rigs or big mines and stuff, or just get those kind of anybody who wants to mine or has a graphics card learn to mine. That's what I focus on my channel. So I'm kind of networking the more the larger scale type thing, like the Genesis mining in a way. But am I going to keep mining? Yes. Do I look at the markets? Yes. And I'm excited to study them further. I've never made those correlations with Genesis mining. I personally don't think they've made all their money back to their investors. My simple math adds up that they've got a long way to go to make up for their investment. However, if you guys would like, I could fly up there and go visit them. I have that ability. So
No way you can do that.
yeah,
Man,
I have it.
do a live stream, because I want to see that. I think they only have 2 warehouses, because that's what
Okay.
I saw on Trayvon James' video.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, you can Google his channel and see his live stream and look at the mining rigs that they have. That'd be interesting, because that's always been a you know, anybody can just go there, I'm assuming, and say, look at all these mining rigs, and you hear the wind blowing, right? And somehow that's magically like gonna correlate to, yes, we're solvent and we'll make a lot of money. But we don't really know that, right? I mean, just because you made a video and showed a warehouse full of mining rigs, does that really mean that there's really something there? Money is really being made?
No, because no, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean that at all. I have thought about going up there, but I guess now there's almost more of a push, because if it's true what you and Brian are saying, and well, in both parts, that if they are affecting the network, then I absolutely need to see this for myself, because that's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen a lot of mining companies go out of business.
That's true.
I mean, a lot. And
Right.
unless they have some secret sauce that nobody knows about, some kind of huge private trade secret, maybe it's the way they run their referral program. Maybe it's marketing. I'm not sure at this point. Maybe they're getting free electricity. Maybe their electricity cost is like zero. They built their own geyser, and they're generating their own electricity. Okay, and so we don't know what the secret sauce is, but I am very suspicious about this secret sauce, because it just doesn't add up, considering all the miners that have, like, mining companies. KNC was in Iceland, and they went out of business. So
But they weren't GPU mining.
Yeah, well, they were Bitcoin mining, but here's the thing: Genesis Mining hasn't offered nothing but Bitcoin until recently, until the altcoin prices started going up as well. And then all of a sudden you saw Genesis Mining offer, what was the first one? Was it Dash? I think maybe Dash was.
You're talking about like 2015, right? Or late 2015, 2016? You're not talking about this year, are you?
No, well, no, they had a Ether recently this year, I believe. That was recent.
Litecoin went on there this year too, I think.
Yeah, Litecoin, and then you saw all these other prices started going up at the same time with these coins. So I'm wondering if they're driving up demand to feed their referral program.
I understand, though, how they're getting the referral program, because I can mine almost at half of the pricing structure that they have. So if I was a cloud miner and I sold my gigahash here to people online, like through email or whatever, I could basically cut their prices in half. So they're doubling whatever just on my scale from my math. So it would be easy to be like, hey, you buy extra, we'll give you some percentage off. We're already making twice as much on you, so why not? I mean,
so they're giving you the 3 to 5% discount,
right,
and making you feel very special. Well, that's a very typical, marketing ploy.
Sales, it is. But I just did my math.
You double the price, and you say, hey, let me give you half off, and you're just charging them regular, right?
Exactly. Because I know I've mined for people, and I've had people like contact me and be like, back in 2014, like, hey, can you run a rig for me? I'm like, sure, I'll build it, I'll run it, and then if it all crashes, I'll just ship you the rig. And they're like, I love it, great plan, let's do it. And I did it for them, and my prices were half easy. What?
No,
Genesis
it's my
mining
spot.
is. So,
Brian's gonna kill someone for a parking spot.
Okay.
Yo, the struggle is real, you guys. You don't even know. I'm sorry, I didn't know I wasn't muted.
Dude, I know. My buddy used to live in New York. I get it. 2.5 hours driving around for a flipping spot. Ridiculous.
That's a New York life you got to live out there.
That's right. Hashtag.
Now, so Jared, what would you recommend to people who are getting into mining? Would you say go ahead and mine? Would you tell them that?
Yes. I would say 2 things. One, first buy 1 Bitcoin. I don't care how you got to do it. Figure it out. You can do it. It was only a couple $100 a year ago. Figure it out. Get a Bitcoin. Then start mining. Start small. You don't need it big. You don't even need to grow big. Just do both, because you're leveraging your losses and gains by owning coin. You're holding on to it, and you're generating coin every single day and helping the network.
Okay, my question is, if you want to get involved, how much money do you need to spend at a bare minimum, not counting electricity or long-term overhead, just the initial setup of all the equipment? What's the least a person can invest to become a miner?
$1,000.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Virgin
Now
coins.
we're talking specifically GPU mining.
Dude, I'm going to do it right here in front of you.
Oh, yeah, GPU mining, right.
Why would you go ASIC? What is the benefit of ASIC when Generation 2 comes out?
So first of all, there are a lot of things about mining I don't understand. Can you mine Bitcoin with GPUs?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay.
It's not profitable, but you could do it.
So if you want to mine Bitcoin, you need to go with ASIC.
Right. That's just because of the network, which...
Oh, that...
All right, watch. All right, James, we're going to do something special here. Oh, wait, let me get a hard drive. We're going to show you these guys how easy it is. Here we go. All right. Oh, power supply. Dang it. I keep forgetting all this. Okay, so you said the bare minimum, right? Bare minimum.
Yes.
So I can sell half a Bitcoin that I own and start mining and start getting some kind of altcoin.
I'm sorry,
Yes. Dump the altcoin and get more Bitcoin.
All right. Oh, I got the wrong board. Can you grab the right board? Oh, no. Here we go. Okay. So here's all you need, guys. Real simple. You need a motherboard, right? So here's your motherboard. You need a processor. Let me make sure this isn't a nice processor. Yeah, it's a Celeron. We're good. So we'll take that out. So take it off somebody else's computer. Take it off of a broken one. Okay, you take the processor, you put it on the motherboard. Okay, there you go. Slide it on, put your thermal paste on, you know, put your fan on there. There's all your connections, right? You take your hard drive and you plug in your hard drive and you put yourself Windows 10 on there, whatever you like, whatever you can work with. Plug it, oh, make a noise. Plug it into your motherboard. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Take your little power supply you picked up for like $100. Plug it in. There you go. Take your RAM. Put your RAM right there.
That's what she said.
Okay. We're doing this live for everybody. I hope they're enjoying this. And the best of the best right here, get yourself a GPU. Whatever one you can get. Doesn't matter. Just get one. And plug it into your PCIe slot. Every computer has one of these. There you go. Look at that. We've got a little miner right here. Easy peasy. You're making coin every day.
Nice. Nice. I might have to take you up on that. I'm gonna have to take maybe some computer classes, whatever. Whatever it may be, I might try. Take half of my Bitcoin, start mining these altcoins, and start dumping these altcoins at high prices to get Bitcoin.
There you go.
Oh, and James, when you dump them on the market, what's going to happen to the altcoin prices?
Well, they're going to go down, but don't worry. There's like a lot of altcoins to pick from.
But
So
guess
one
what?
goes down. I'll point it to another altcoin and dump those.
And
I'll
what's going
point
to
it
happen to
another.
Bitcoin?
Well, Bitcoin's going to go up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jared. Man, you're the man. That's what I should have been doing.
Oh.
Thank you. You just showed me a way where I can just double, quadruple, or 10x my Bitcoin that I have right now by spending half a Bitcoin.
All right. Do you guys know what passive income is?
Is that like a Ponzi scheme?
No, passive income.
I'm just kidding.
All
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
So for all of our viewers, well, I didn't learn this until I was like 24. And if I would have learned this at like 10 or 8 years old, it would have been a game changer. Passive income is money you don't do anything for. It generates in your pocket every day, whether it's 10 cents or $10,000. Millionaires and billionaires live on passive income. That's how they survive. So mining is passive income. It's your first gateway into this world of gaining a profit without doing anything all day. You don't have to do anything.
Now, Jared, you worked at Apple or an Apple store?
Apple Store.
Okay, and you've been working there. You no longer work there. You mine full time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So that goes to show. That goes to show this is working for you. The fact that you quit your job and said, "I'm mining full time. Fuck this."
Right. That's
okay,
right.
I believe you. I believe you.
And I'm not selling anything to anybody out there, like Genesis Mining is.
You know, if you did, you'd probably be a millionaire. Would you say that? If you sold hashing power and then set up a referral program, right? You'd be a millionaire right now.
Let's do it together. Brian, you in? Let's just create this great big scheme.
Listen, I got some Bitcoins. So as people come in and they buy in and they give me a whole Bitcoin, I'll give them like 0.003 Bitcoin every other week. It's perfect. And technically, we are mining.
Oh, you guys are great.
I'm down. We'll get all the math right, and just like Genesis, no one will realize exactly what we're doing. They'll just have to take us at our word.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Brian will do the math.
Math? What do we need math for?
It's got to seem right. It's got to look right. There are people like me out there that will figure us out if we don't.
Yeah. And plus, we want to know how much money we're really making. All right. So Brian will do the math. Jared, you could do the mining. You could. We'll invite somebody.
All right.
We'll invite somebody, right? And we'll show them all your mining rig in your basement. We'll go, look at all this. And then I got some coins. I got some Bitcoins. We'll use that for the referral program. Okay.
This is great. We're gonna make millions just like that with $1,000.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's what other YouTubers do. Why can't we do it?
I don't know if you're being serious or not right now.
All right.
What I am being serious about is we should weaponize our minds.
Like your brain or your mining rig?
No, MINESs. By weaponizing our minds, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. We need more American mining power so we can utilize it in the war against the Chinese.
All right, or that would mean we'd have to mine Bitcoin, probably ASICs, which that's a problem with Bitcoin.
Brian, I don't want to argue, but I like arguing. So if you want to argue, I'll argue. But why would you do that? China is the one providing you with the ASICs. We're not smart enough to create ASICs over here in America.
No, stop right there. Don't ever belittle us like that, right? We are smart enough here, right? We are. I'm sorry. There's an American here. He may be of Asiatic descent, but he's an American.
Okay. All right.
We have Americans who are intelligent enough. And the problem is not only do we need more miners, we need more American manufacturers of electronics components, such as the GPU cards for mining. Bring that all back. Manufacture that shit in America.
Okay, so now you're talking about a global change.
What's wrong with the global change? That's what happened to America.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that first you say we need to bring more mining into America, which is great. Mm-hmm. Well, how are you going to get mining into America without getting the suppliers here? well, the suppliers are Asian, so we've got to get them and their manufacturing here. So now we're talking about a political problem, and it's an entire global issue. It's not just like, oh, everybody turn on a miner in America. I mean, it sounds easy and it sounds good, but we're not going to come anywhere close just by sheer numbers against Chinese numbers.
So let's say we do that process reverse. First, we start manufacturing the mining equipment here, then we can have American miners.
Okay, and your cost for manufacturing in America is way too high.
Right.
Everybody knows
that's
that.
always been the challenge, Brian, because in China, they don't they don't have the same cost here per employee. I mean, they pay less. Sometimes they don't. In some situations, you're talking about prison labor. You know.
Right.
I mean, look at all the Harbor Freight tools. I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty for buying them, but they're so damn cheap. And the reason why they're cheap is probably because some poor prisoner was forced to make 1 million of these in a day to meet his quota.
Right.
And you know what's sad is that we all know this. We all know this, but because we don't want to lower our standards to compete with them, that's what we have to do. We'd rather just go ahead and just buy the Chinese made product. So there is a certain level to that. I agree. I don't know the solution. Unfortunately, I wish it could be more even and more fair, but the choice becomes, okay, do you want the Chinese people to work at a minimum, like a bare minimum wage, or do you want the American people to work at a bare minimum wage? And that's kind of what it's become down to.
This is the classic dilemma that we have in America with manufacturing, right? It's cheaper to manufacture anything anywhere else than here. So the same dilemma is across all of our industries, right? So thank you guys for the reality check. I'm a little bit of an idealist sometimes.
No, I appreciate your thoughts, and I agree with you. I just am also on the realist side, and working for Apple, being the largest, and one of the guys who are outside of the country and have the ability to build these warehouses in America and take from their multi-hundreds of billions of dollars to build these factories and be an example for the rest of the world, could do those. But us on our small scale have no opportunities like that. We don't move the needle of these big companies. And us picketing or fighting or going against the president or something like that to say, we need him in America, we need America, isn't going to change that. It's the choices of those companies to bring them here back home. I'm afraid that nobody, unless somebody believed that as a kid and then became a CEO, we wouldn't change it. So we have to almost affect children right now and tell them that that's what they need to do when they become that person.
So we need to indoctrinate this generation into to a bunch of patriots who believe that everything should be done here in America. We should.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's another way. You can try to get China to change to increase their standard of living, which would then raise their cost up and be on the same level. Right now, I have to admit, and I've known this for years, that they've always had a lower standard of living, lower cost. And again, you're talking about and maybe if you've seen some of my videos and maybe you know, I'm not very fond of communist China, because literally people over there are, in my opinion, property of the state. They are nothing more than viewed as property. So you work for the state, you know, whatever your whole life is dedicated to improving all of the state and all of the people. And in some ways, you know, I kind of view some of that thinking in the same way I view the scaling debate with Bitcoin that's going on, where I think there's a lot of cultural differences in Bitcoiners here in America, and then the miners out in China. And I just think that there's it's just a different system. All right. We have a standard of living and we're comfortable with it. It's gone down over the years, in my opinion, but at least it's way better than the rest of the world. And so I don't think we're ready for that kind of a shock. So there's only a couple things. We lower our standard, or we try to raise the standards of others in other countries to the point where it's higher, and hopefully some of that.
Both of those are a mindset.
Yeah, it is, and so it's a war of the other mind, the MIE.
Right. Yes, it is. You're right.
So there's and sometimes it's hard because and this is going to go into probably. I wish Mike was here now. We can go into Illuminati controlling the mind and controlling the masses. You know, so there could be ways where you can subdue the population into being happy with what they got, or limiting their resources and everything into their lifestyle. So it is a battle, but if in some ways I think Bitcoin is a grassroots movement towards every individual trying to improve themselves. And so
You know,
that's one of the reasons why I got involved in Bitcoin. And so let me ask Jared a quick question before I stray too far. I know you mine with GPUs and you're mining altcoins. What coins do you think will go up in value? What's a good pick for you? Since we speculate. I want to hear from a miner's mouth. I know you don't give a shit what coin goes up as long as you point at that fucking pool. But what do you see for the future of these altcoins?
All right, so I have so much invested in altcoins, I don't even know what I'm banking on.
Shit, man.
Hold on. Let me go to my CoinCap here app. Great app. Go over here to my Altfolio, and I'll let you know. Okay. All right.
Wait, am I on still?
Yeah, you're on.
You're
Are you
on.
serious?
You've been with us. Oh, you mean your audio? Yeah, we're hearing you laughing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was laughing. I thought to mute.
What do I think is a good investment for an altcoin market? I would say Golem, Burst, Ether Classic, and if you're on the storage game, which is kind of like the Burst game anyways with the hard drive stuff, you might as well throw in some SIA coin, SC coin, SIA coin. It's real cheap right now. I get it for like 15 cents because they're all doing hard drive mining. So those are probably going to be my biggest picks right now.
Okay, now let's talk about hard drive mining. That's very different than GPU mining. You're just turning on your computer and running a wallet. Is that what's going on with hard drive mining?
Yeah, and that's actually what we're getting into next.
Wow.
I'm excited. I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm kind of curious about this because, I usually wait 5 years for a coin to be on the market before I actually start putting my money into it.
Wow.
Okay. And I know in cryptocurrency land, 5 years is like 100 years or something.
Yes, it is.
But that's what I did with Bitcoin, and it worked out great for me. So I kind of followed that path. But if I go into mining, I mean, mining should be done right away because that's where the earlier the better. Would you agree on that?
Absolutely. I was mining 5 Ether coins every 24 hours with 2 GPUs. And now with 26 GPUs in here, yeah, I don't even think we're getting a coin.
What?
Yeah.
So do you point it somewhere else then?
I don't think we're even getting one coin. If I did, I mean, I don't like to share exact numbers, but no, we're not. No.
Okay. So as a miner, it's best to jump on any new coin coming out and mine those coins as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Then that's pretty much like prospecting for the most part.
You're mining in the negative though.
Yeah, you're mining in the negative, but as I said before, and I've talked to you, the best time to mine is at a loss.
Right.
Because eventually, if you can sustain these losses, you should be able in the future get a massive return when they spike up in price.
You're right.
So how do you store these coins? Do you have any advice about storage or storing coins? Do you use paper wallets? Do you use hardware wallets? What's a good method?
Always offline. Always. I'm always offline. I don't know where I practically carry my offline with me too. It's terrible. Not really.
But how do you?
How?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Paper, hard wallet. Like what type of method?
Yeah, I mean, I use the Ledger wallet. I really like the Ledger wallet. I aesthetically don't like the Trezor, so I don't get into the Trezor. Printing them out on paper, I've dabbled in that a bit with Ethereum. That's pretty cool. My Ether wallet's a good Chrome extension to use for that to get some offline. So there's a lot of options out there. I would definitely do your research, but on the exchange, it's just an open market, and anybody can just take your coin whenever they want. So good luck.
So you don't trade on exchanges at all?
I do, actually. I have thousands, tens of thousands on exchanges right now. It's just risky.
Right. Okay, but it's not, obviously it's not your whole portfolio. You just have it there for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, but in the end, what would you rather hold? Would you rather hold Bitcoin or other altcoins? What would your holdings be in your preference as a miner?
After you already have one coin?
Yeah, let's say you're mining all these coins.
Okay.
In the end of the day, like if you had to choose like a certain coin or like coins that you think are worth holding for you to whatever use or cash out, what coins would it be?
I guess I'm confused. Would this said miner be? Is it for somebody else or myself?
For you. Well, I'm asking you as a mine. You mine coins. You don't buy them. You're not quite an. You are an investor, but you're not like me where I'm buying the coins directly.
Right.
So you have a different perspective. What at the end of the day, like what coins would you actually hold? Because for me, I'm just going into Bitcoin. I'm starting to get into Litecoin because it's coming up on 5 years, and so I'm starting to see some potential in Litecoin use. So that's why I'm asking.
I would hold Bitcoin, honestly. It's tried and true, man. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And if it forks, hallelujah, finally. Whatever it does. I'm excited for whatever it does.
So you would
below Bitcoin, I would say Litecoin is going to be your safest bet. I've mined Litecoin. I've mined Feathercoin. We had thousands of Litecoins at one point. It was amazing.
Did you sell those Litecoins?
Yes. 4 years ago, man. I was dumb. So I still had to work at Apple to make up for it all. So I would hold Litecoin. Would be my second pick, of course. Absolutely. I don't think you can mine it anymore. I mean, you can, but like ASICs are out for it now, so you should buy one of those, I guess. But yeah, altcoin would be Litecoin for your safest.
Okay, would there be a third coin? I mean, like would there be one more coin that you might hold? It looks like I'm pushing the barrier here.
No, I'll tell you. It'd be storage coin.
Storage coin. Okay, tell us about it. Why are you interested in storage coin?
I've followed him from the beginning. It's a young guy. He's got hope. He's got potential. He might be jumping around a little too early with the fancy offices, but at least he's trying. And it's done very well. It's got a lot of development. They're kind of in a partnership with Factum, which is doing a lot of things overseas. So if my money was on one of those crazy alt ones, it'd probably be on the storage coin.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I appreciate and respect your thoughts and opinions and everything you say, because you took the risk of quitting your job and going full retard, what I call full retard. All right, anybody who quits their job, even me, I'm a retard by not my choice anyway. But you went full retard and you went mining all the way, and I respect that a lot, and I respect your opinions on that. And you told some of my audience some good stuff, and you might have even convinced me to actually mine, either hard drive mine, because I leave my computer on all the time.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing? You should be a miner. Everyone should be a miner.
Yeah, I feel stupid now. I feel stupid after talking to you because I leave my computer on all the time because I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin. So why don't I let it mine some crap coin so I could dump it and get more Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one use case. It seems like altcoin's the best use case is to get more Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Of course.
Now, Brian, did you want to add anything or have any other more questions? Or anybody in the audience or in the chat have any questions?
Yeah. Yeah, as a miner, I want to ask him what he thinks about the long-term increase in the Ethereum blockchain. And my theory is it's going to get so big that common citizens will not be able to store it, the entire blockchain, and so only the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance will be able to store the blockchain, and then it becomes super duper centralized.
Well, just because the blockchain would be centralized doesn't mean it's a harm. You could query the entire blockchain with a couple of programs. So if you're running at, 1,000 terabytes for the blockchain one day and it's only stored in a warehouse, then you have all these like little nodes running all over, querying whatever the blockchain independently, and they only take up 100 gigabytes to run those constantly. You could validate the blockchain and its consistency. So that wouldn't bother me.
Okay.
That wouldn't bother me.
All right.
What about?
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
What about the increased amount of the ICOs and all of the different tokens and dApps that are running on the Ethereum network? Is that going to cause a scaling issue?
Oh, man, I kind of wanted to save this for my live stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I like you guys so much. All right. If I would, this is going to sound crazy. I'm not affiliated with Ethereum at all. Okay, so I can say this.
That sounds really bad. You gotta say I'm not affiliated with them.
Right, and I'm mining it right now. I don't trust Ethereum. I think it's the biggest, worst, terrible. It's awful. I don't like it at all. I think what they're doing is horrible. I think the DAO hack was a disaster, and it's just a mock-up, make-up. The guy's trying, and I think that we're soon going to see a coin that's what we all dream of, the hope of Ethereum that people have. But I don't think Ethereum's it. It's turning into this disaster of a coin with all these ICOs and other ICOs. But even at the fork, my gut was like, there's something not right about this. This is something not right. So
what about Ethereum Classic then? I mean, after the fork, the original Ethereum, do you think that has any merit?
It could be. It could be. I don't know if Valak would actually move his developers to that, though. I think he hates it. So that would be a principal standpoint. Like, that's almost like, I'm a failure. I rebuilt myself, but that's a failure. So I'm going to go back to my first failure. I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could personally do that.
That was hella funny what you just said. So he's a double failure. So if he fails, he failed twice in one shot. That's amazing.
The kid's super smart. I love what he did, and he set a precedent for the future of what the blockchain can do with a world computer. But he proved how easily humans can just go in there and siphon millions of hardworking individuals that invested into this, and they'd be like, "Forget it. We'll change it all, and everybody will be great. We're gonna love it. Watch it. Let's go over here. Let's go over here." And then the other guys are like, "What are you doing? This is what you built first. Why don't you stay on the same train track?" So, sorry, get a little worked up about this.
No, that's great. That's funny, man. I mean, that people have been saying that all this time, and then it gets ignored. People just dismiss it. We have a question from Martin Wilkinson. He wants to know your take on the miner L3 Plus. Do you know about that?
No. Oh, Antminer. Oh, the Antminer L3 Plus.
Yes.
So my take on all ASICs are why. It doesn't matter what it is, but I mean, if he wants me to study it, I guess I could review it. ASICs are worthless after the next generation. So you buy this ASIC, it runs in your machine, you're doing awesome, and then the difficulty goes skyrocketing, and now you're stuck with this piece of metal because generation 2 is out, and you're like, I gotta have that one. So then you buy another piece of metal, and then you're hoping you bank your money back, but your first piece of metal doesn't do anything except suck power. My GPUs over here have been going 4 years and are still mining. Look, watch. I'll show this kid in the chat, or adult, or girl. Look at these. These suckers are still going, 4 years old, every day, all day long. So, anyways, I don't know anything about it, Antminer.
All right, excellent. That's a great answer, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. I think you're educating me, you're educating Brian, you're educating
Oh
the
yeah.
audience. I mean, I'm serious. I might just hard drive mine.
Dude, I'll
I
help
mean,
you.
yeah. I mean, I might even actually run one miner, an actual real miner. Wow,
There you go.
that's amazing.
James, I'll
I
start
want
a
to craft
contract
it up.
with you now. I'll buy your Bitcoin so I can peer-to-peer trade them here in New York.
All right, all right. Did you sell any coins?
Not yet. I've been busy with this film. I haven't had time to go down and start hustling.
Hustling? Okay. I was wondering
Yo,
if
I
you
got
actually
that.
sold any.
I got that black coin, son. Got that Bitcoin. Come get it. Hot off the blockchain, son. Get your Bitcoin right now.
Right.
Oh man, guys, while we're at it, why don't we just sell everything that we've burned up over the years? Why don't we just, just hook all that together and start it going? We got thousands of dollars of who knows what gadgets in there that could mine for us, right?
That's the foundation of our cloud mining company right there.
Let me ask you,
Put some mineral oil in there, get some bubbles going. Everybody will believe it. We got the most efficient miner here. It's been running for ages. It's running off a liquid. It's the greatest miner you could ever buy, and we've got it. You can't even buy these.
Proprietary technology, people. You don't know what we got.
Jared, what do you do with all the burnt up GPUs?
No, really, that's them right there. What do you mean?
He puts them in a bucket and lets them sit there.
Look,
Fish tank.
here we go. Here's one. Here's one. That's $600. Here's another $450. What's this? I don't even know what this is. This is a $79.50. Yeah, there it is. $79.50, baby.
So those are all useless for the most part.
Yep. Here's a $700 card.
Did you get your money out of those cards?
There you go. There you go. Whoa, look at that, baby.
Were you able to? Did they all pay for themselves?
Oh, all of them, 10 times over. Easy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, Jared, if you want, you can actually recycle them and get a little bit more money out of them.
But on my live show, James, that looks so much cooler.
Okay, it's worth it, I guess. All right, Brian, you have any more questions, or the audience has any more questions? I think this was a great show. You definitely educated everybody. I'm serious. I'm having second thoughts. I mean, just at least hard drive mine and just dump that shit for Bitcoin. I mean, because I have my computer on every time. Anybody in the audience or anybody watching, if you have a computer that's on, you can hard drive mine. So what's some coins that you can hard drive mine right now?
Yeah.
Burst coin, storage coin, Sia coin, and I think Golem. I don't remember. I think Golem too. But definitely get on the Burst. I think that's the most popular right now. That's kind of exciting. Storage coin, you got to hold 10,000 storage coins, which I was dumb and I sold, but whatever. So, yeah. I'd get on that.
Okay.
Get on some Burst coin.
All right, Burst coin. Okay, well, maybe we'll give that a shot. It seems after listening to you, it might be worth it because I've heard other people get into Burst coin. Sometimes, it's hard to trust people on these YouTube channels, but I do trust you, Jared, because I've been watching you, and you seem like an honest guy. And everybody, actually, before this show ends, Jared, tell everyone where they can find you, and so they can learn more about mining.
Yeah, absolutely. Just YouTube Digital Gold, baby. Digital Gold. We love it over there. Please join us live. We go every week, all the time, and we're making cool new videos. We just want everyone to learn about mining. So find me on YouTube, Digital Gold.
If I get people to watch your show, will you give me some coins? A referral program for viewers?
We could talk.
Do you consult? Do you get paid in coins?
I am actually. That's why I'm going to New York. So yeah, I'm working on some things.
Let me know when you're here. Also, we got your pick on speculative investments. What are the coins, in your opinion, that could become currencies? Not take over or replace fiat, but could be the currencies as opposed to platforms and stuff.
I don't think it's out yet. I don't think any of them are out yet because NATO and world governments are going to have to agree on it. So they're probably going to create one with Microsoft and, you know, some bigger guys, Goldman Sachs, things like that. The guys who are developing, IBM, all those people are developing on the blockchain right now, and they're going to have to agree on something like that. So, but that gets into the Illuminati stuff. So we'll hold that for another episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back, Jared. You know, this is a great. I think this is a great talk. We're almost at 2 hours. My goodness, we're at an hour and maybe 40 minutes. So I think we should conclude this episode. And so again, Jared, please tell people where they can find you. I'm encouraging others to go to Jared's channel, Digital Gold. Is there any other way to contact you? Twitter, Facebook, or anything else?
You know, I've been working on that. Give me some time. So just find me on YouTube. You'll find all the other links there. So Digital Gold on YouTube, and I'd love to chat with you, Brian. I tell you that early, real quick, because I want you and everybody else to get on this coin, whatever the one is that will be the main currency. So because I don't believe it's out yet, it gives everybody a chance out there to get on it.
Yeah, I share the belief. I think that maybe Bitcoin and Litecoin are going to be around as stores of value, but I don't think that we've actually created that optimal cryptocurrency, the one that will challenge fiats. And I think you're right. Unfortunately, fiats are held in power at the end of a gun, right? Fiats aren't going anywhere, right? Unless those who have those guns make the decision. So I agree with you on that. We'd have to get in early, but we also have to recognize from whence it came and who has it.
All right. And then, Brian, please tell people where they can contact you. I know you've been on my show quite a while, but let's maybe some new people will watch.
Okay. Well, the best thing to do is to leave me a YouTube comment. I'm on all the social media, and if you want to search for me and reach out to me there, that's fine. But if you leave a comment, I'll see that easiest.
All right. Excellent. And of course, I'm James Bond. You're already watching my channel. You can just contact me, leave a comment or whatever. So, okay, this concludes this episode. This was a great episode. Thank you, Jared, and thank you, Brian, for joining. And until next time, stay tuned. Bye-bye, everybody.